Excuse me. I am someone who has trouble with my lungs, but there's nothing quite like a pandemic where the virus manifests as a cough to really make me hyper aware of my breathing. All of that was level 3, so nearly 3 weeks in level 3.
That's like cheese!
Cheese! Now, Koru, what's happening? You're going to school today for the first time in 3 weeks. Why? Do you know why?
Because COVID's over.
Because we've gone down to level 2. Level 2. So the risk is a lot lower, and now it's safe enough that we can go back to school. So that's exciting, isn't it? What are you looking forward to? I'm at the mall. It's really, really busy. It's just packed, and probably about 80%, 90% of the people are wearing masks, even though we don't have to. It's our first day back after level 3 lockdown. The queue to Kmart is really long. It goes about half the length of the mall, and yeah, we're here trying to get in to get a couple of basics. So it feels weird. It feels weird to be surrounded by so many people, and yeah, it's just weird. No, we're not allowed to play, I'm sorry. It's closed. I went to a large department store to buy some stuff, and while I was there I had a major coughing fit. I was wearing a mask, and all the people around me in this very busy department store, they quickly moved as far away from me as possible, and they all gave me the look. The "you better not have just given me COVID" look. And I could not stop coughing. Like, it was a really full-blown coughing fit. I was coughing and spluttering, and it was awful, and I was taking my inhaler, and I took a lot of the inhaler just to try to get me to stop coughing. Before this pandemic, people would always come rushing over to me in such a situation. Like, it's obvious when I'm in a real dire situation, and they would come and they would offer me a glass of water, have a seat, can I get you I don't know, a tissue if you got your inhaler. And these are the kinds of things that people would normally do, and now the norm is to just simply get away from her and think about what kind of a bad person she must be, because she's out in society and coughing and spluttering all over humanity. Which I was doing behind a mask. A very strong sense of social pressure, of felt stigma to stop coughing no matter what, because sick people are not allowed in society.
So I don't have COVID, but I am coughing, and then it triggered my asthma, so I was coughing a lot. Exactly, just like that. And then, you know, in public it's not socially acceptable to be coughing, because people look at you like you're spreading disease. And, you know, I'm coughing with my asthma into my elbow. Yeah. I'm not sick, I don't have COVID, I've got asthma. And I tell people.
You feel like you have to tell everybody that?
I tell people on the bus, I'm not sick, I've got asthma. Yeah. But I do feel like I am the harbinger of disease.
Now, I'm feeling these feelings in New Zealand, where we've had one of the best experiences in terms of the pandemic. Even here I feel it. And I felt it keenly in that moment. It was horrible. And then I felt really torn, because I really wanted to purchase the things I had come to purchase. I had gathered them, I'd spent 20 minutes gathering them, I was ready to purchase them, and then I had to stand in a queue which is about 40 people long for about 15 minutes, and had to try and stop my body from coughing while I was there, because people on either side of me, obviously, didn't want to be standing beside someone who was coughing, even though I was wearing a face mask. People who have chronic conditions, hay fever, respiratory illness, the kinds of illnesses that manifest in the same sort of symptoms as COVID. It's horrible to be so self-conscious about an illness that could so easily be mistaken for something else. 3 weeks ago I came down with a cough, which turned into a chest infection, which turned into pneumonia. And my youngest boy, he also got a cough. We increased our inhaler use a lot and stayed home, kept him out of kindy. When Falcon was in hospital with his coma, when he woke up, they had to have the COVID test, and his nose bled and he screamed, and it was very, very painful for him. And then he had to have a second one, and his nose bled and he screamed, and it was very painful for him. It was traumatic, not just for him, but it was traumatic for me. So I didn't want to go and get tested. Excuse me. It's pretty unpleasant.
There's so many people in this supermarket, and they are definitely not social distancing. They are right beside me, all around me, and while we were getting these groceries packed, it was horrible to have complete strangers standing with their elbow touching mine, and there was nowhere to go because we're jammed in here.
The cultural implications of this pandemic are far-reaching, and they're far-reaching in terms of space, but also in terms of time. My eldest boy, who's 6, recently his younger brother punched him in the nose while we were in a restaurant. And again, this is before I was sick. And he ran out of the restaurant as quickly as he could, holding his nose. And I thought, oh golly, is he bleeding or is he sneezing? Because every time he gets punched in the nose or gets some kind of impact to the nose, he sneezes uncontrollably. And he ran out of the restaurant, and I raced out after him, and when I got to him, he was crying and sneezing, and he said to me, I didn't want people to think I had COVID, Mummy. I didn't want those people in the restaurant to think I had COVID. And I really felt for him, because he is 6 years old, he just got punched in the face, and his first thought is, oh God, don't let people think I'm a danger to them. And I felt really sad for him. That this was his first thought. But it's hard when you are in a public space and you are near people that you do not know, and they sneeze or they cough or they blow their nose. It's hard not to jump to an instant thought. But for the most part, people are doing the right thing, and they are trying to protect each other from this virus. And in New Zealand, we're doing pretty well compared to a lot of other places around the earth. So perhaps we can practice a bit of kindness. Just remember our kindness, because I think years later that's what will matter a lot. So the mask is my friend, and I've noticed this discourse change very rapidly in New Zealand and around the world, from one of being discriminatory towards people who are wearing masks. But if you want to protect others, you wear a mask. And everybody's wearing a mask to show that we care for each other. These are the things I've been pondering.
Later, Monday, September the 21st. Staying with RNZ for the latest alert level announcement and COVID briefing with the Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern and Director General of Health Ashley Bloomfield at 1. We'll be back tomorrow with interviews and the latest news from Aotearoa and the world. But for now, from the team, kia tau te mauri, hei a popo.